Lights, camera, action. The big injector replacement, manifold clean and BFE video, DIY style, continues. All right, what have we got to do now? I forget, it's been a while. Probably should put the cover back on, put the pipes back on, get all the fuel systems sealed up, get the EJ elbow back on, all that sort of thing. So, what we're going to do next... Now, let me just ask obvious questions because that's how we roll. Because once we put this cover on, it's too late to check anything else. So we've torqued those 4 injector clamps to 22.
Yes.
We've torqued those 4 bolts on the side here to 16.
Yes.
And the one at the back, to 13. The one on the back there.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Don't need to double check it. Happy.
Happy.
Right, so we're going to get a nice clean rag. And we're going to wipe all the surface of the head so it's Mickey Mouse, because you can see a bit of oil sitting on that surface there, so the reflection in the light for the people on the video. But anyway, I'm going to clean all that up Mickey Mouse. We're also going to wipe around these injector solenoids, because just like replacing the seals or cleaning the seals and lubricating the seals is what's going to seal here if there's any dirt or debris. So we just want to make that, these are brand new clean, but let's just, with a clean rag, you know, probably wipe with a clean rag here first and then use that rag to do the rest. And then we need to get our RTV, 4 little dobs in the prescribed places, not a whole smudge all the way around the whole thing making a mess, but just those 4 little dobs in the prescribed places. More details in the VIP videos. I want you to watch the video in the VIP group if you're going to replace your own injectors, because there's lots of information. And I'm learning that it takes time for people to learn, and they need to see even more videos than I thought before. They need to see even more and watch them multiple times, right? So I'm not going to tell you everything in this video. So don't think because you watch this video you can do it. You can do it if you want, but make sure you use the Facebook groups to go and complain and ask the questions. Don't text me because, you know, I told you to watch the videos and spent the time to make the videos. Anyway, once all that's clean, 4 dobs, then we're not going to forget to take those red caps off. That's when we're going to take the red caps off. We're going to put the valve cover on, get all the bolts started. We're going to tighten them down in many passes nice and slowly. Mainly the middle ones first, corners last, because then I crack the valve cover, because that can happen. Based on evidence of cars coming in with cracked valve covers. It doesn't happen to us, so all we can think of is people are tightening down the corners first and it's flexing down sort of thing at the corners. Once that's on, we'll get to that in the next video. So that's what we're doing. So we're pretty clean around the surfaces. Beautiful. Valve cover's ready. That looks good. So that's what I do. I just put a dob on my finger and then you just sort of touch it and it makes bigger contact, and as you pull away it ends up like a mountain. So you got a little point, so then when the cover goes on it just mushes it out, right? Yeah, that's it. Probably even less. Like it's kind of heaps, but that's all right. People will put a lot more, like you saw that black stuff, they smudge it all the way across the front virtually, you know what I mean? So I'm more about you just, you know, into the corner, and as you push it into the corner, you know it's all the way in, make contact, you pull your finger straight back, it leaves a little hill. No, not really. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of like, so you don't have to wipe it, you just push it into it, because it's going to get pushed by the valve, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you just, and then as you pull your finger back, because of course it's trying to stick to you, yeah, that's heaps anyway, it'll be fine. It's done, beautiful. But I think I like that first one the best. Yeah, see, you kind of got a lump there, but the idea is a small lump and it's right on the joint, so just a little dab and you just touch it. So as you press into it, it's going to make contact wide, and as you pull back, it's going to, you know what I mean?
Roger.
Yeah. So anyway, but that's good, that'll do the job. So we've got our RTV, everything's torqued down, everything's clean, cover's clean, ready to go. So it's, yeah, over the pipe at the back here, they just zip tied to the back firewall. That's it, just hook it under. Beautiful. Just saying.
You told me a few times, I should have listened, shouldn't I?
And it'll just fall on once you let it go, because it's pretty level. It's just pretty well going to fall. It's not going to have much choice. It'll just sort of go pop, usually. That's about it, so I think you just had the front on first, yeah. Just get the bolts. Actually grab the verandas, those 4 nozzle seals on the bench, on that clean bench over there that I just got out. Let's get those verandas in. Not that there's anything in the air here, it's dead still clean. It's like, how clean is it here, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do they need
hospital
to have
grade
or anything on them?
Nah, just
straight in?
sit them in. Just sit them that way. If there's anything in the air, this is a general thing, you know, for anyone working, depends where they are or what engines they're working on, you know. Just put them in, because obviously if something's in the air and it falls straight down, look, it's not going to go in the injectors now, is it, right? So they can just sit like that. Happy days, right? Now let's get the bolts in the valve cover, work through those slowly, nipping all those down, and torque them down to 9 Newton meters. Once that's done, we'll push the seals in the rest of the way and start installing the fuel pipes. So I'll go and get those ready while you do that. So it's looking better. It's looking like job's nearly done when you put the valve cover on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still a bit to go yet, but yeah, getting on the home run. So you're nice and slow, many passes on all those bolts. The pipes are ready to go over there. 4, 3, 2, 1. As you put those on, push the seals in, put the clamps on to help line up all the pipes and everything. Yeah, get that stage done and then we'll come back to it. It's looking pretty good. It's looking all right, yeah.
So is that the right spot for the clamp to go?
It is, yeah. See the black mark on the pipe? That marks where it goes. So you can't see that one because... was that a trick question?
Oh, it's for the viewers.
Yeah.
I kind of remembered, I paid attention when I pulled them off, but it's easy to not. And then I saw the black marks and went, oh yeah, Toyota's thinking, aren't they? Yeah. They're smart, those Toyotas.
Did you remember from the 8 videos you watched? Or?
I watched the videos, mate. It's hard to remember. There's too much information in.
So you got to be careful of listening and not watching as well sometimes, yeah. Because if you drive, that's good doing the driving and having that playing instead of the radio. But sometimes you got to look like for when those marks are, you know. You might hear, oh yeah, the marks, and you go, yep. You're driving, but you haven't seen, yeah. So it's not all about the talk. Sometimes you got to look and see what's going on. They're 5 Newton meters. I think that's in the video, but I never use a torque wrench on, and I use the impact driver. So that needs to go this way. Basically, forget the marks as best as you can in between the bends, because we don't want them getting near the bends. Yeah, I don't use a ratchet or a spanner on them for the reasons stated in the video, because twisting the pipes, yeah. So I just use the gun just lightly, because it turns the bolt rather than flexes the pipes, if you know what I mean, you know, the leverage thing. But anyway, but they're in the right spot now. If anything, you know, this one could come 2 millimeters this way, but no, just joking, 2 millimeters.
So I'll put the gun on them.
It could, you know, that's about right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, that's what I just give them, you know, a few clicks, you know, and the clamps aren't new anymore, and you can see the rubber, it squashes. So the 5 Newton meters isn't always going to work. So you need, as you know, like we said in the videos, the previous ones and this one, you just need to sometimes, you just give it a little bit. All right. And look, to be honest, that'll do. Let's talk the pipes and then let's worry about finishing those off if they need to, but so they don't slide. So 5 Newton meters, as long as they're not sliding, push them hard, they're not moving, right? No problem. This one, we need it. Let's torque up the pipes now, because that's next, isn't it? So you got these torqued down, no problem. Yep. What was that again?
9 Newton.
9, yeah, beautiful. And it felt right because the crush tube and the valve cover, you feel it make contact and then you're just nipping it, you know, like, so it's a set height for the gasket. That's why they never leak. It's just awesome engineering, you know?
Yep.
What else did we do? So that's all good.
We talked up number 2 fuel pipe
Before we put number 1 on, because the crow foot's hard to get to number 2 while number 1 pipe's in the way. That's good. And obviously you took the caps off one by one as you put them on. You didn't leave the caps there. That's good. I've got this clamp on here as well, not to forget that one. And there's one more on number 4 fuel pipe. Don't forget that one. So probably, yeah, you haven't torqued all these yet, have you? No. So let's torque up these. What was the torque setting on those again?
32.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah. 32 for new pipes. Bang, let's nip those up. And let's go along the common rail. Number 1, 3 and 4 down there. A little bit awkward to get to. Actually, yeah, we put that inlet manifold stay back when we did the manifold clean. We should have left that out of the way, because then it helps you work around the pipes a bit better. We shouldn't have done that, see. Weren't thinking, mate, you know, kind of like, you know, on autopilot. This stay, that top bolt, normally you leave the top bolt out and the bottom one loose, because then you can move that bracket around to get to the pipes. So you can try, or otherwise you'll be loosening that. Because, you know, I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm saying that what I do is take the top bolt out, loosen the bottom one so I can move that around to get to the pipes. Because I don't want restrictions when I'm talking. I want to know that I'm talking the pipe, not
up against
up
something
against
else.
something or partly against something or whatever. I want to have a decent clearance, you know, so to know it's accurate. Because the last thing you want is a fuel pipe 2 years later down out in the middle of outback Australia, fuel pipe leaking because it was 3 Newton meters off or something like that, you know, or over for that matter, you know, it could go either way, and then it sort of cracks with all the vibration because it's over tightened. Really important to get the fuel torque spec right. So yeah, 32, 33, 34, I don't really care, somewhere there, you know, and then when you reuse them, add 1 Newton meter or 2, you know, 35. If you're going to put them a third time, I sort of go 36, just to go that little bit more than last time. Any more than that, you risk cracking the pipes, you know, because they're all compacted hard at the ends, the flared ends. But anyway, we'll continue with this. So we're going to torque up the pipes, then we're going to finalise making sure all the clamps are tight, and then we'll put the E-jar elbow back on. And then let's get started on the BFE, start ripping everything off the front. That'll be a separate video though. So we'll just continue this one a bit more, see what happens, see what we get. Bit of chit chat. Okay, so a bit of a checklist before we finalise this injector installation video. So all the pipes are on, they're all torqued up, top and bottom. Clamps you've rechecked, happy days. So you took the stay off the inlet manifold, loosened off again to do that, and you've put it back again, I assume, already or not? Yep. So the top bolt's tight, bottom bolt's tight. So we're good down there. We've plugged in the common rail, because people always forget the common rail plug there. That's fun when you do that. You can do that if you like. Everything's Mickey Mouse. So that's fuel system sealed. Did you even pump this up by any chance? No. Okay, so now once you've got the fuel system sealed, it's a good time to start. It's going to take a bit of time to get fuel in it. So what you do now for the rest of your job is just give it a pump every now and then. And then it'll start quicker, which doesn't matter. You're not fussed about. It's a good battery test. We'll see if your battery's any good or not, you know what I mean? Generally, if you pump it a lot, 6 seconds is the magic number. But if you don't, it'll take longer, but that's okay too. It can take 20 seconds if you sort of don't pump it much at all. So now we're going to put the E-jar assembly back on. So that's going back on, beautiful. Okay, so let's get that back in there. And
remember to back off that bolt under these two, don't we?
That's it. So just loosen this. So now you've got that tight so that you could press lean on that and you're not putting any pressure on the welded join where this section comes up to there. But now that you want to align this end, because obviously this component's different to that component, and this component here is going to join those two together. So that might not be where, you know, if that's why I leave these nuts loose, 1, 2, 3 at the other side, just so then that can, you know, but it doesn't matter because that's, you know, optional where it can go there, you know what I mean? And then I'll tighten down the back one. Then I'll come to this one with that loose. Once that's in, then I'll make sure that's all. I don't want that loose. I just want it so it's holding it in to the right. You don't want it because it'll be hanging out here when you tighten it up, yeah? So you kind of want it loose enough that it can just move up and down, but not flop it all over the joint. And then, so once you get the back 3 bolts in, the ones that, you know, go in the bottom of that, then get these started, and then basically just get them all started together. Now, there's something you've forgotten, okay? You're in a bit of trouble, but you'll work around it. I've just noticed, and this is what happens when you're doing the job and it's the first time and I'm sort of coming and going a bit. The inlet manifolds stay. Remember that bracket we said don't forget that, it'll be sitting on the bench later. That flat plate that goes under here, there's a 10 mil that goes into it, and there's the brackets you're going to need. That's the next thing, and it's not there yet, right? So it's okay to do it now. You just have to fiddle around to get underneath to get to that 10 mil. See that 10 mil bolt there? It's just right there, you know, and the other. So you'll find those. You'll find the bracket. There'll be a 10 mil somewhere, probably sitting in the bracket somewhere over on the bench. A lot of people forget that. Here it comes.
I left the bolts in it.
Yeah.
And that mucked up my sequence, didn't it?
Yeah, so where's the 10 mil? You got the 10 mil in it? There or not? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's not a 10 mil was. I think it's a 10 mil, yeah. It's that one anyway. So you just sit the plate on and get those done up now. And that completes this injector reinstallation and whatever, this part of it anyway. And we'll move on to putting the rest of the car back together. Video perhaps. But yeah, you can still get to all the bolts and whatever. It's a bit hard to get to those with the pipes in the way. So you probably might need to get a crow's foot. And we've got a set of, we've got 7 anyway. We haven't got a set of crow's foots here, but we'll find spanners and work around it and whatever anyway. So yeah, just a little bit of fiddly around the pipes. Have fun with that. All right, that's a video, guys. So I hope you liked it. If you did, subscribe, turn the bell on, and hit the like button. Catch you on the next one. See ya.